So we headed to the break there. I said a quadruple, and I don't want to be cruel about it because the player's quite rightly. Van Dijk shut me down in the mix zone at Wem. I don't want to talk about any quadruple. We've just got ourselves at that stage to the FA Cup final. So he didn't want to talk about it. It's now become a domestic cup double. In the pantheon of great seasons in history, will Liverpool's this season ultimately be forgotten in years to come? This became a cup double.
It won't be forgotten. But it won't be thought of in the same light as some of the years in the past. And also, as well, it will depend what happens in the next couple of years as well. If success carries on and the silverware gets more and they become really successful, then of course it'll be less memorable because the success continues.
Right. Okay.
But I think if there was to be a fall away, and there wasn't much success in the forthcoming years, which is unlikely, but if that was the case, then of course these seasons would be remembered more. But is it going to be comparable? No. Well, Simon was right what he said earlier. To get to the last week of the season, your fans have been on this wonderful journey with you the whole time to think you're in every competition, you're going to every final.
Oh, I know.
It is phenomenal.
Oh, I mean, they gave themselves every chance, and it was a phenomenal effort.
Yeah, it was.
Michael Owen goes further. Post-match on Saturday night in Paris, he claimed that Liverpool are still the best team in Europe and still the ones to beat. Are they, Simon? The best team in Europe and the ones to beat?
Depends if you view the best team in Europe as the team that wins the Champions League, or the best team in Europe plays in the most challenging domestic league.
Well, is that not what the Champions League final is about?
Well, it's a cup competition. It's made up of 13 games against the so-called elite, that most of them aren't champions from their leagues anyway. So it depends how you want to look at it. I understood Michael's point. I also understood the ridicule that came on there on afterwards, which was basically, how can you possibly make that argument when ultimately you've just lost a European final to Real Madrid, who've now made it 14 in a row. I make the point in sort of defence of Michael and following his thinking. If you took and I said it earlier on, if you put Real Madrid into the Premier League, I think Liverpool and Man City would finish above them. If you put Liverpool and Man City into La Liga, I think they'd finish above them. Now, of course, what you'll hear now is the sharp intaking of breath of what the arrogant British think they're entitled to, and when it comes to a final, they get beat. And it's almost incomprehensible watching that game and watching Real Madrid against Manchester City and Chelsea, how they managed to get through, because they weren't the better team in any of those games. So there's something about the alchemy that club and that team and that manager put together to get a team that wasn't as good as the opposition they played against to win it. So I do understand Michael's point, but it just will open up for ridicule if you tell myself you're the best team in Europe when you don't win the so-called denotion of that, which is the Champions League.
Well, when you don't win your own domestic league and you don't win the big one, the Champions League.
Oh, but I mean, with the greatest respect in the world to Liverpool, how much closer do you want to get? I'm not making a case for Liverpool, mate. It's all about Liverpool.
Doesn't matter how close you're close or far. It doesn't matter. Really.
Liverpool, in my view, and I support Michael, I think Liverpool are the best team in Europe. I think they're feral. I think they're electric. I think they're almost undeniable. I know that they were denied in this final.
So even this Monday morning, you're saying that Liverpool are better than Real Madrid?
As a team, I think they are. I think that's a moment in time, and I think that Liverpool are a better side than Real Madrid. I don't care about individual games.
But Real Madrid won La Liga. Real Madrid
Chelsea
won the
beat Barcelona in a semi-final of the Champions League when it was universally accepted Barcelona were a better side. But Chelsea came out because of an indomitable spirit. They banked up and they stopped Barcelona and Messi from breaking them down.
Never mind about that. We're talking about Liverpool.
But hold on. But we're talking about an argument how people can be better yet still lose. People will look back in history and say Muhammad Ali was a better fighter than Joe Frazier, yet he lost to Joe Frazier.
So Real Madrid, who won their own league, La Liga, and went on to win the Champions League, are not as good as Liverpool, who lost the league to Manchester City.
They're not.
And who lost the Champions League final.
I think as a football, styles make fights, right? It doesn't mean overall because of an individual game that the team is better, right? I think Liverpool, as some of all its component parts, from every aspect, from the goalkeeper through to their centre forward, are a better side. They're more aggressive. They're easier on their eye. They're more feral. To me, there's something about Liverpool. Not just because of their English club, because I'm no fan of Liverpool Football Club, besides their achievements, that I believe in my mind's eye they're a better team than Real Madrid.
Fair enough. Danny, what does a summer rebuild look like for Liverpool, would you say? Who's going to go? So Mane, is he out there? Bayern Munich could happen. Firmino, will he stay? Salah?
Well, Salah's already said he's going to stay. It looks like Mane might be off. I think people keep saying, can they replace Mane? They've already done it with Diaz. Diaz playing on the left. Mane's been playing centre forward. So they've kind of done that. They're bringing in the young lad from Fulham, Carvalho's a hell of a talent, by the way. he's going to play some games. He's not just coming to make up the numbers. This kid can play. He's got that wonderful low sense of gravity, go past people. I think they'll be fine in terms of
But
scoring.
stepping into Liverpool is different to playing at Fulham, though, isn't it?
He can
play.
He has playing from a Portuguese league. They pick the right players somehow.
Okay.
But we'll wait and see. I don't think they'll need to go heavy on forward players. I think they've got Jota, who can, again, shown his worth in terms of goals. I think Firmino will probably stay another year. If not, they will have to sign if Firmino goes.
But you've raved about Mane. If Mane goes, you've
He's my
raved
favourite
about him.
player,
You've said
Sam.
he is the forward.
most
so if he
important.
goes, it must be an impact. It must be.
There is, in terms, like a choice. But I think Diaz gives a lot of the same characteristics, and I'm amazed he can come in and show the same type of ability so quickly. But he has.
So do you think then part was part of the thinking that
Yes.
Diaz? I mean, I know they tried to nick him
I
off.
think
They
so.
tried to stop Spurs from getting him, even though Spurs were never going to get him because Liverpool always were going to
They
get
get
him.
Diaz in, knowing that Mane would go.
Yeah.
That's the thinking I was going to
I
ask
think
you.
so.
Yeah.
I think so. My thing is, if you look in the midfield area, I think defensively they're fine. They've got lots of cover. Got cover at fullbacks, cover at centre half. In the midfield, you've got. I don't know if Milner's going to stay or call it a day or might have won last year somewhere else because he's obviously.
He's having one last year, is he not? I'm not sure.
But he's not going to play that much. You've
No.
got the Ox probably go. Doesn't play enough games. I'm not sure Keita is the answer. So we are that midfield three of Thiago, Fabinho, and Henderson's phenomenal. But Thiago does struggle with injuries, and Jordan's not. You can't expect Jordan to keep playing 45, 50 games. He's in his 30s now. I'd be going all out for Rice or Phillips. English, hungry, someone you know is going to be around a long time, gets it, can come in, hit the ground
Right.
running.
Okay.
That's where I'd be looking.
Okay, but both of you giving it this morning as we head up to 11:30. In spite of the fact Liverpool didn't win their domestic league and they didn't win the Champions League, still best team in Europe.
In my view, yeah.
No, they're Liverpool and City are the two best teams. Can't separate.
That's a fair analysis, yeah.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.